Today I'm going to be going over the very best concealed carry pistol that you could get if it's the first one that you're purchasing, or if it's the first handgun that you're buying, period. But specifically, we are talking about concealed carry here. Now, if you're anything like me, you like to do a lot of research before you buy anything. And today we're going to kind of unpack the proper way to go about doing your research. So for starters, we're not going to do a list. If this isn't the first video you've seen, you've already seen the list, right? It's going to include a 6-hour P365. You're going to see Glock, probably Glock 19, Glock 43, Glock 43X. I think those are the most common ones. You're going to see the Ruger LCP. You're going to see Smith & Wesson, the Shields variants. And then same thing with the Springfield Hellcats. Those are pretty much the go-tos. Those are on all the lists. One of those is usually number one. I think it's usually probably the P365 or a Glock. To round out the list, people will throw in like Taurus, Kimber, and some other brands, Walther, and so on and so forth, right? So there's a couple that aren't on every list, and then you got your core group of guns that are on every list. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to walk you through some of the things I was doing and whether or not it was really worth it. So right off the bat, I was just making it out to be as if it was the most crucial decision I was going to be making. It was taking me months. I was watching video after video and hearing different opinion after different opinion and then reading articles. And it was just a ping pong of different opinions. It finally dawned on me, just go buy one. And then here's the best part. If it's not the right gun for you, you can either trade it in or just go buy another one, right? You should always make room for another one. And then, another thing to bring up, most of these lists kind of just automatically default to 9mm. So I didn't think about it until I had already purchased mine. I did get a 9mm, but like a Ruger LCP, the 380s LCPs and stuff like that. Kind of wish I would have thought about those. They can get a little bit smaller, a little bit more concealed, and they don't print as much. So I don't think you have to get a 9mm. I think in most self-defense cases, you're going to be a lot closer. And I'm going to go over some of my annoyances on most of these lists. A lot of them like to start decking out the gun. They like to get some optics on there. They like to get lasers, flashlights. Flashlights not necessarily a bad idea, but you're starting to bulk up a pistol that's designed for concealed carry, and usually you don't want it to print. I'm in real estate, and I'm going to be in a room very similar to my home office here, where, typically the max wall distance here is 10 to 12 feet. In larger homes, maybe upwards of 15 feet. But I'm not going to be doing a lot of long distance shooting in a self-defense case. And now for home defense, when I'm at home, if I feel like there's an intruder or something like that, I'm not going to be using a pistol. I'm going to be using my 12 gauge. So there's a lot of opinions on why certain guns are better. And honestly, maybe my opinion will change the more I get into concealed carry. But I think adding and bulking up your gun doesn't make a lot of sense. It's usually going to be a point and shoot situation. The idea of self-defense is that you've just been threatened, right? So, and it's not going to be a slow process. So you're not going to be aiming, and I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't know what I mean. I know what I mean. And I mean to say that, you're going to be pointing in that direction and you're going to shoot, and hopefully it's close enough to where you're fine and you don't need optics and so on and so forth. There were preferences that I just didn't care for. It kept pulling me in one direction over the other. Now, if this is the first concealed carry that you're buying, I don't think you actually know what it is that you want 100%. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. Don't buy any gun without going to the range. If you can, rent one. At the very least, try to hold them, see if they'll allow you to dry fire them. That's important. That's ultimately how I picked my concealed carry pistol. Now, the other thing, I'm left-handed. And when I'm listening to all these right-handed people say, hey, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter where the mag release is, I was like, well, yeah, you're saying that because you're right-handed. But no, truth be told, it really doesn't matter. Mine is not at all ambidextrous. Actually, I might be able to switch out the mag release now that I'm looking. So I might do that, but I can do it just fine with the right-handed setup. Now, the big thing is price. I personally do not see the value in spending a crazy amount of money. Now, if you have it and you want to go spend it, great. But if you are just building up your inventory of firearms, I don't think spending a whole lot of money on your very first pistol or concealed carry is necessary. In fact, I made sure I did not spend that much. I'm definitely going to be on the lower end of this pricing spectrum. There are other things that I want to buy, different calibers. Still got to buy a rifle later this year. So I'm keeping some things in mind. Now, with that being said, I did go with a Taurus GX4. And I got to tell you, the reviews on this are quite bizarre. Almost every review of this has been super reliable. Haven't had any issues with it. I wouldn't buy. Why wouldn't you buy a very cheap, super reliable firearm? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And specifically, safety first. I haven't even bought any ammo for it, so I know it's empty. This right here. This is why I bought this. Look at that. Super clear distinction on when you hit that wall, and it's very short travel. And then same thing on the reset. I like that. It's not spongy. Super sweet trigger for the price. I think I paid $320. The other thing is, I wanted my firearm to look cool. That's why I don't like Glocks. Glocks are boring to me. It looks like something a cop would carry, which pretty much tells you that it's going to be super reliable, right? I'm going to try to show you the sights. A lot of people have opinions on the sights. This works for me. A lot of people actually seem to be complaining about Glock sights. I guess they're plastic. I don't know. I thought the Glock sights were fine. Yeah, so the reviews on this make no sense because they're using them. They don't seem to show any issues. And if they do, they kind of admit, hey, we've only thrown in a couple dozen rounds. Don't expect this to continue. And then when you see the update videos, they say, yeah, it's worked flawlessly. And then they double down on, I would not buy because of the reputation that Taurus has had in the past. Now, I have not even taken mine to the range. Probably do that later this afternoon at the gun range I go to. If they let me record, I'll record, and we'll see how that goes. Kind of feel like I'm rambling a little bit. I don't script anything. I just kind of talk about things. Another thing that I thought was really weird is, there were some complaints about how you disassemble it. You need to be able to turn that. So this right here. So from what I've heard, you should be able to use the edge of a 9mm round. You could use, obviously, a flathead. It comes with this keychain. There's no way I'm carrying this stupid keychain, but that's just me. Now, a lot of things, or on a lot of the videos, when they do the reassembly, I've seen on a few where they incorrectly assume you need to tighten that screw. You just rack it, and you're good to go. If you notice, like I said, mine was $320. I can't fit an optic on here. It doesn't have a rail. Those are complaints, but I wanted my firearm to be small. I'm 5'8", 185 pounds. Without getting that pinky extender, this can be removed. I can still just about, like, it's a little hang off, right? If you're new and you're overthinking, go buy what it is that you like, both style-wise and feel. That was another issue I had. I liked the way they look. I didn't like the triggers, but I was overthinking it. I took months to buy my first handgun. Why? No idea. I hope that kind of helps. Focus on price. Don't spend a lot. That's going to be my advice. And then try to listen to the other reviews, and you're going to just hear so much bias and then throw it out the window, right? So when they go, hey, this thing didn't have a single glitch, throw it in the trash. Listen to when they go, there wasn't a single problem with this, and then disregard when they're like, yeah, don't buy it. Go get a Glock, right? They're just Glock guys. I'm new to firearms, so I don't give a shit about any of the brands. I just want it to work reliably. Now, if you are getting a Taurus GX4, there was a recall. I don't even remember what for, but I did check with my model number, which is right here on the back. Mine's fine. I mean, if you want, go spend the money. But if you're someone like me on a budget, got plans to buy more than one firearm, don't do it. Oh, the other thing I want to mention, and I thought this was interesting. So if you are debating on the different calibers, one of the good arguments I heard for having a 9mm was wintertime, right? So like me, I might wear this. This is technically like a jacket. It's like a fall spring jacket. And then I'll throw another jacket on top, clothing, thicker, a lot more stuff to penetrate, which again is why I recommend going cheap, because I will probably end up getting a Ruger LCP, or they got the LCP or they got the 380 security or something like that. But either way, I'll get a smaller caliber, maybe for summer. People are usually wearing t-shirts, gym shorts, that type of stuff, less printing, still get the job done. But yeah, so by going cheap, I'm going to be able to buy more firearms, and I'll do an update video. Based off all the videos I saw, I don't think we're going to have an issue with quality here. Hopefully that wasn't too much rambling. This is very new space to me. I do make content for work, real estate related content. I do find myself having to think a lot more because I'm still not familiar with everything. I'm going to be doing a follow-up video on what I'm going to do before I take this to the range to make sure that it does operate smoothly. If that's something you're interested in, do me a favor, subscribe, give me a follow, leave a comment. If you think batshit crazy and I'm stupid and I should keep my opinions to myself, let me know so I can make a special video to tell you to go fuck yourself. Other than that, have a great day.